Hi folks, welcome back to part 2 of the Kirton Games Battlefield of Middle-earth tournament. This is again will be game 3 and 4, 2 parts in one, due to the fact the games are so quick to get over with only 4 models on my side. So up in this game is against a friend of mine, club member Tristan, who used, I think this is a Barad-dûr list. No, this could be the Gates list with the Legendary Legions. So he's got, I might have got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's Moran and Orcs. He's got the Mouth of Sauron, and the Troll Chieftain, who's been made the Uber Troll Chieftain, who basically gets, I think, a point of Might, Will, and Fate on top of a normal Troll Chieftain. So yeah, a lot of strength for a lot of models, and to be honest, going into this, I was pretty worried. But as you can see already, I've managed to find a nice bit of terrain between a bit of scenery, which I can move through as all my elves have got woodland creature, and difficult, well, slow-going rock. So I'll hopefully get a channel them through here and take them on piecemeal, while I've got the got the point to hold my numbers. So we're straight in on the action, and the first part of the wave that starts heading my way, I quickly slay using Glorfindel and Gil-galad there. Aristor in the middle. He just moved up to fill up the gap and make sure no one can get around to Kirdan. I'll be using Enchanted Blades a lot on this one, and with most of my guys causing terror, the terror ball would be nice, but it's not overly necessary. In fact, I think all of these guys cause terror, so I might not have to worry about that at all. I'm not sure if Aristor does or not now. But yeah, with that and the courage 2 of the orcs, so hopefully I won't get surrounded too easily, and I can just get stuck in where it's needed. Sorry, that's a quick flash here, but yeah, we've just been hacking through them, holding them there. The Mouth of Sauron, if you can see Glorfindel there, he killed off a orc that was trying to get around the back to take on my Kirdan, and I put him down and obviously did heroic combat, and then ran into the Mouth of Sauron, and then Glorfindel single-handedly killed the Mouth of Sauron as well, so I was well impressed with that. I think I used up pretty much all my might just to get rid of that character. He might have still had might on him, so it was well worth it. But in the meantime, I'm happily chopping through Moran and Orcs, even though they're strength 4, which is kind of a annoyance. But yeah, I don't mind. His cave troll is kind of scuppered at the back there. He's actually kind of trapped himself in there with all the bodies. So hopefully I can cut down a few of these numbers, start breaking him, and he'll start fleeing, and I can surround him and cut down his chieftain using Gil-galad and Glorfindel and Aristor. So you can see here, it's just them moving forward. And I am winning combat and cutting them down. And for me, it's very much the same with this small funnel. I've managed to put them through. 2-on-1 is pretty easy for my elves to win. The only one I'm worried about is Aristor. I think he does lose a combat and gets damaged, but I don't think he dies. Basically, because he's only got the 2 attacks, it's not always guaranteed a win. And obviously, he doesn't have Lord of the West, unlike Gil-galad and Glorfindel. Unfortunately, Aristor, even though he's re-rolling to wounds, doesn't kill any of his opponent. Glorfindel kills off his, and Gil-galad, obviously, with his +1 to wound, he had Enchanted Blades as well, re-rolling failed. Yeah, he's doing quite nice damage right now. So they're still trying to surround. As you can see, I'm still chopping through them. They're trying to go around the outside now. It's slowing them down. Also, they're failing to charge my terror-causing elves, which is fine with me. I'm, as I say, not too bothered if I don't get surrounded, as long as I can win. And he's obviously got his banner there, it's helping him win the combats. Let's say with Lord of the West, it's effectively giving both Glorfindel and Gil-galad a banner. So with the chances of him surrounding me, I'm slowly starting to push back now, just to protect my Kirdan the Wizard at the back there. His Enchanted Blades is quite nice, just really up either Glorfindel or Gil-galad. But as you can see, yeah, I'm not too worried so far. The orcs haven't done too much to me. I'm not sure what the 2 do. I don't know if 2 guys, they might have fled, or because I've got no way of shooting them unless I called heroic with someone like Gil-galad, in which case he's slaying 2 and then ran over to join these fights. Aristor's in there, Glorfindel's in there. I'm just trying to, as I say, just chop away, break them, and then hopefully on a failed courage test, big guy will run away, all the little chaps will. All I have to do is lock them down, and with courage 2, there's a good chance the rest of the orcs will run. And the elves are definitely making mincemeat of the orcs at the moment. And yeah, into the combat. Got rid of the troll. Do you know what? I actually think he fled. Might not be sure. I know I might kill him with Gilgalad, to be honest. I think I did heroic fight. Chucked. Yeah, that's right. I did a heroic fight because I've actually look at the top there. I've thrown Kirdan in, just so I can't get surrounded and pinned down. Done the heroic fight. Who was either Glorfindel or Gilgalad. They killed off their orc they were fighting and joined it, and then with a tag team of Glorfindel and Gilgalad. Glorfindel fighting two-handed, Gilgalad already got the +1, and an enchanted blade up on one or probably been the Glorfindel because he had the heroic, just to make sure he kills his opponent before he moves in. And as you can see, yeah, I hacked apart pretty much all of the orcs. All the heroes are gone, and that was a victory to me there. It was a pretty harsh victory. I really didn't think I was going to do too well of that. Once my opponent was pinned in the single place, I was quite chuffed, and I could hack him up slowly. Glorfindel managed to take out the Mouth of Sauron in one round. That was pretty brutal. Because for a long time, I say, I've been using two-handed weapons as it's a -1 to your dice, and since you can't raise the dice above a 6, the highest you can only get with a two-handed weapon is a 5. So it's a bit like having the -1 for banner. It was always to be like really bad. You can never win a fight. But I learned in this tournament you can actually use the might point because it actually brings the dice down to a 5, and you can use the might point to bring it back up to 6. So I wasn't too weary of using Glorfindel two-handed in a couple of fights, and with the two characters with 3 attacks, all having the +1 to wound, they did a sterling job at chopping through all the orcs. And that was that. On to game 4. So for game 4, this was my opponent. It's a Fellowship and Misty Mountains alliance. So we've got Gwai here and 2 eagles, Boromir mounted, and Sam. And down here is my little warband. This scenario... Oh, I remember. The scenario was Clash by Moonlight, I believe, for this one. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling it could be that. But yeah, this could have been a very boring game or a very interesting game, depending on how I wanted to play it. And what I mean by that is, basically there was this building here that all my individual models could go in, and none of his bases could actually reach me. And he's got no ranged unit, and I've got my thrown daggers on Eristor. So I'm still not too sure on this. I could have played him. See, what I did is I don't want to be that gamey bugger that ends up stalling the game out or playing the game out so I can get the win that I want or the draw that I want. But really, in this scenario, me being out in the open on foot against pretty much all mounted or beastie is just ridiculous against these eagles. What I should have done is just stayed in the building, shook hands with my opponent and called it a draw, and then played the game on. I decided to get on and play the game, otherwise I was going to have a boring couple of hours, which it's not the wisest thing, because not only am I affecting my own score, but I'm also affecting other people's scores. Obviously, if my opponent ends up with a draw and I end up with a draw, compared to me ending up with a loss and him ending up with a win, that will really change how the results end. And to be honest, if you're bringing out an army only of monsters and there's an area where a single man-sized foot troop can go and you can't, well, that's the gamble you get, really. But maybe that's just my view of it. But this is how it looks. I'm heading towards the building. And as you see, my opponent then realised Eristor had some throwing daggers, and all I had to do is sit my guys down, not have them against the wall, not have them too far at the other side, and those big bases can't get me. And the only ones who could would be Sam and Boromir, but Sam and Boromir doesn't really want to come in and take on my 4 elven heroes, which is a fair cop. This is the only problem with some of these games that are like this. It's just harsh and brutal if you're gonna min-max on certain things. I'm still pretty unsure on how I should have played this. I should have just agreed a draw and be done with it. And but I always do this. I just end up playing the game, and there's no tactical advantage to me at all to play the game. It's just a death thing for me. I can see that, and my opponent knows it. So yeah, it's a bit bizarre, these kinds of games. And I think in the next one I am going to play it. Saying that, I'm not going to take this fewer characters in another one, but I probably will. If I'm taking this fewer characters, there's an area I can go where the enemy can't get to me because all he's taking is bloody monsters. Well, in which case, I'm just going to say, I'm going to hide in here. We'll call it a draw or a loss and a win, working out the points that we got. I can't remember if this is like leader wounds or whatever it is for this one. I can call it there. So as you see, yeah, he's standing there waiting for me to come out. There's no rush for me to come in. So I didn't want to be a gamey git and end up running out. I at least go to the difficult terrain, causing him to lose his cavalry charge bonuses. But yeah, it was never going to be enough with the high fight of the Eagles, the might of Boromir and that. Yeah, I knew how the game was going to be before this ended, so. And my hero's just slowly getting surrounded and being chopped down. I mean, I was a bit unlucky in some of these, but I think if I wounded any of their guys, they'd just fly off and hide somewhere. So it's hard to get a kill on any of them. I try and have a go at a stab at Sam. I'm not sure this time I killed Boromir or Boromir had run off. He might have run off, to be honest. If I was him, I probably would have to play it safe because I don't think he's got that. Boromir from the village hasn't got any fate, so he's only got the 3 wounds and he's not very tough. Aristor gets killed off. I don't think that. Yeah, it could have been. No, I think Guahir's the one with the guy underneath. But I might be wrong there. But he gets killed by an eagle. I use a lot of my might to do heroic fights, so I can at least match or beat the eagles in combat. So as long as I can beat them, there's a chance I can wound them. But they're still, defense 7, so they're not the easiest things to wound. I do manage to knock out one of their budgies. And I believe I just go running after them, and eventually I lose the rest of my heroes. Thing is that as soon as I lost a combat, I was knocked down. So it's double the attacks, and I think they're strength 7 if they charge from memory. So yeah, they killed off my heroes, and my opponent obviously won this scenario. And as I say, this is where it does make a difference, because funny enough, my opponent is the one that had won the tournament in the end. So if I agreed to a draw, or really boringly just sat in the building and didn't come out, there was a good chance one of my mates would have actually won the tournament. But I don't know how that comes across as gamey or not, or is that just tactical wisdom? Well, to me, it's tactical wisdom. Okay, there's no reason for me to be running around trying to chase these bloody great birds if I'm on foot. There's just no advantage of that to me. But yeah, no, it was another really good tournament. And considering I went with 4 L's, I thought it was going to do shocking. I'll just be outnumbered and brought down. But I did win 2 of my games, so I wasn't bad. And I think I came up in 4th place. Yeah, I think I got 4th place in the end. So I was really happy with the result of that. And there was a couple of armies here, as you can see. There was this one, and obviously the Radagast and Eagles one that had a small number of models in as well. So it was different, it was fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I believe the next one is going to be a 750, so I'll probably do a full Last Alliance, Elrond, probably Elendil, and maybe Círdan for his magical sport, and then infill from there. But I don't know yet. I'll play around with that. I do like to try a evil hero list. I have commented on the old Facebook group about evil hero lists, and they're not as easy to do, are they? Because you just don't have the fight in that, unless you do The Hobbit, where everything's ridiculous. But I don't know. As I say, another good fun tournament. Kirton Games do run great tournaments, and it's been different each time for all the people we've played. And as I say, this was completely just, I painted these guys and I thought I'd take these guys, and that was my choice for them, and it actually worked out to be alright and quite good fun. A bit of a beast, Elven heroes. Though, would I miss Elrond? I know Elrond's been FAQ'd now to have his magic powers reduced, but I do like Gil-galad's +1 to wound and fight 9. There's not much you're going to lose against with Gil-galad. With the Master of the West as well, you get your free banner. Because I was going to I wanted to get all 3 in, but you can't quite do it. No, you can't quite do it. You can't get Glorfindel, Gil-galad, and Elrond in at 500. So we'll just have to wait for the 750 and see what occurs. You never know, I might go weird and do like a 750 character bash. I've got no idea yet. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.